You are listening now to the Spirituality Now podcast, the show that is solely focused on practical spirituality, leadership, and mindset skills with the aim and purpose of supporting you master your life. Welcome to the Spirituality Now podcast. Welcome to the Spirituality Now podcast. My name is Ivonne Delaflor, and this is our first podcast in video format. This was not planned, even though we've been planning for a couple of years now. We should go in video. We gotta feel it right. We gotta let the audio first grow. We gotta add value to the market. Suddenly, my beautiful, beloved, wise wizard assistant, she's more like a positive witch, right? She said, why don't we record it today? We had an incredible guest who had to do community service and couldn't show up today for the podcast. So we had the time allocated, and she said, let's just go in video. And this is our first video podcast. So this shows you that imperfect action beats perfect action, perfect planning every single time. So hopefully this will be of service to you, because we're starting with an episode in video called the Bodhisattva Vows. I'm going really into that terminology. It's a Buddhist terminology. Vows, you know what the terminology is. A Bodhisattva, there's thousands of information and video and everything out there. For me, a Bodhisattva is a person like you and I that does a good deed. If you pay for someone's coffee in the line that is behind you, if you help a woman cross the street, if you pick up a trash that you didn't throw in the floor, that's a bodhisattva, someone doing good deeds for humanity. But we're going to take it to the next level, because I recently took these vows. I'm a devoted practitioner of Chan Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, Buddhism. I'm also baptized as a Christian by choice, not by rules, not by religion. I know this, when you talk about Buddhism or bodhisattvas or the Buddha, if you are a Christian, some of my fellow Christian brothers and sisters get a little bit offended. It's not the intention to offend anyone here. It's the intention to just to bring experiences, and hopefully that help us all open our minds and see in a different way and understanding all the things that are unfolding in spirituality and leadership in mindset that can help us all grow better, grow wiser, grow more confident in who we are, and in deeper connection with God. So first of all, the bodhisattva is really a sentient being like you and I, whose commitment, right, is to put others before oneself. Now, for all of my fellow members of the club, self-care, self-love, put yourself first, I get you. I have shared those thoughts before. I'm in the boat with you, or in the ride with you, that says you gotta put the oxygen first in your face before giving it the oxygen to others, like in a plane. I get it. I agree with that. This doesn't mean that you have to abandon yourself into martyrdom or victimhood. The era of martyrdom is over. And, most of us all in spirituality niches sometimes enter into martyrdom, sometimes enter into that, because it's so nice to be of service to others. He's so kind of you. It's kind of expected. If we had a job description, anyone that focusing on self-mastery, spiritual illumination, enlightenment, self-realization, if we had a job description, it will be it will be that, right? Nice people. It will be an expected job description of a nice people that always says yes. No, true spirituality, true bodhisattvas, they will say no. They will set boundaries. They will set limits. They will cut things that don't work anymore. They will cut the weeds out of the garden. Obviously, they won't kill any bugs, if you are a Buddhist. But it's the commitment to put others before oneself. Now, what is it? What is the oneself? The oneself is the self that you are not really, is not really you, is the egoic self, is the self. And I have nothing against the ego, because, if it exists, if Freud was right, I believe there must be a reason for it. Everything has a right to exist. And so, but to put others before oneself, the self of greediness, the self of what do I get here, the self of righteous ways, the self of proving yourself, the self that you put others before yourself, supposedly, because just you want to get their love, approval, and appreciation. No, to put others before oneself is to relinquish that self that is so needy of your attention, of your approval, and your appraisal. When you do that, you can really serve people. I always say that love people enough that you also love them enough not to care what they think of you. So a bodhisattva is a statement. The bodhisattva is really a statement, an embodiment of being a good human. Right? You see them in business, you see them in public speakers, you see them in mothers, teachers, nurses. Bodhisattvas are everywhere. And when a bodhisattva takes a vow, and I recently took those vows, a vow is more a statement than just a commitment. It's like the higher self of the commitment. Is so high, the frequency, that when you take a vow, genuinely take a vow from the soul. You can commit with words. You can say you will do it. You can promise. In the overachiever world, it's like, let's get it done, or like it didn't work out. You kind of excuse yourself of if something doesn't work, if your words were not true with your actions, they were not in alignment. Kind of, we have an excuse of a cop out, right? Like, it didn't work out. Maybe it was not meant to be. No. When you take a vow like this, spiritually wise, it truly is an elevator of consciousness. It's an elevator of consciousness. It's an elevator of your soul. When I took these 4 vows, and we're going to go over them briefly, recently at a monastery, I felt like there was a weight lifted off my shoulders instead of a weight put on. I usually, when I do a commitment, I'm going to create this. I'm going to, we've created so much things thanks to commitment and discipline, taking consistent, imperfect action. This video is an example of that. And we have achieved so much, and there has been so much struggle and so much, you feel the pressure, and I don't have anything against it. I actually like it. You feel the responsibility. You are in the arena. You are in the trial test. The storms are coming to you. They're beating you up, all of that. But there's a weight. There's a sense of weight. I was so surprised that when I took these vows, and they are really really high vows, right? I felt weightless, even though they are really challenging, even though I know I'm going to face deeper storms and stronger trials, and there is a sense of ease, a sense of so much support. How some of the people on the spiritual niche says, like, when you make a decision, the universe conspires in your favor. The universe has your back, like Gabby Bernstein says, etc. Well, I felt that it was deeper than that. Anyways, so a vow is more than a commitment. So don't make vows. I know that a lot of people make vows in marriage, and because they don't understand the power of a vow, they quit too soon. I divorced. I'm not proud of that, but I divorced twice, and we didn't take vows. I was thinking about it. We didn't take a vow. We didn't marry in the religious structure, and we didn't take vows. And I know people that divorced that have taken the vows, right? But if they trust the vow to be an elevator of consciousness, of higher illumination, if the vow is done with benevolence, with compassion, with clarity, with wisdom, and not with any hidden agenda. A hidden agenda is not a vow. That's going to be a goal, a commitment, and I'm going to do this to prove to someone else, etc. That's not a vow, okay? A vow is a statement of willingness to give up one's own ideas, structures, dogma, religion, tradition, rules. The way that it should be done is only my way. That I am right, you are wrong. Those battles are endless. I recently, I dated someone that we had a micro battle in that, and he was saying, you are always trying to be right. And I'm like, how about you now? It's like a never-ending story. It's just so kindergarten stuff, right? And I was there. a couple of months ago or a year ago. I don't even remember now. But it's you have to be willing to let that go. To let that go and say, yeah, maybe you were right that I was trying to be right. So it's a statement of willingness to give up one's own well-being. And again, this is not your well-being of self-care, of doing the right things for you, of putting the oxygen first on you. Is your own well-being of trying to be, the only one that has the reason, that to the only one that has been victimized or tyrannized, etc., etc., etc. So it's the willingness to, in the past it was called to sacrifice, right? The sacrifice for the higher good. But this is really that you understand that even if you give up your own enlightenment, even if you give up your own things, you are so fulfilled with God, with really being of genuine service to another that represents you. That's why you're giving up of yourself, the self-created, the limited version of yourself, to serve another version of yourself in another. So the Bodhisattva vow is a commitment to really put others' well-being, the well-being of the world first. I know it's going to be tempting, that offer of you getting that money, but does it help other people? Is your decision costing the health of others? I know a lot of people that were in the sugar business, and they will tell me, we are in a very karmic business because we're selling sugar, but we're also, sugar kills people. So it's an interesting thing, right? It's an interesting thing. And even though people have their own choices and they have to make their own decision onto what they are going to consume, what they're going to read, what they're going to do, what they're going to say, etc., you still are a contributor to the wellness of other people's beings. So for the sake of others, the Bodhisattva vows to be of service. Now, there are 4 vows. And these 4 vows, I don't think this podcast will encompass the power of them, but I'm going to mention them briefly. So the 4 Bodhisattva vows, which I call them the elevators of consciousness. Elevators of consciousness are, number 1, beings, human beings, sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them. When I took this vow, I was thinking of Elena Cardone and Grant Cardone, the creators of the 10X movement. They have a vow, a commitment, an aspiration, a spiritual goal to serve, I believe, 7.1 billion people. I don't know if that goal is higher now, to educate them with financial literacy so that people are not poor, that they are smart with their money. I love that. That's a vow. That's transcending your own limitations. A vow has that power. So even though I know beings are numberless, I cannot even count them, right? Beings, sentient beings, and animal kingdom, insect kingdom, every single living being is numberless. I vow to save them. Now, I'm not going to be Superman or Wonder Woman, maybe. I'm not going to save them as I am the holier than thou and I will rescue you because you need saving. No, but you will become a model, a leadership example, a mothering example, a partner example of coming back from sin to zen, from drama to dharma, from losing your cool into returning to your calm. You are going to save people by being an example, just being an example there, helping them, obviously saving someone that really is in danger when you can, when you are taking care of yourself too, even though the vow is putting others first, you really vow to save them. So again, you may not be able to save anyone at all, but just that vow has your mind like thinking every day, is what I'm doing correct for others that I want to serve? Is this creating a good impact? Is this food that I'm selling with good ingredients? I have a coach, mentor, Jesse Isler, who is such a open speaker, about the open spoken spokesperson about all the dangers, all the damage that cereals are doing to our children. The cereals that says, we are vitamin, we give you energy, and there's only artificial colorants and just bad things for their brains and for their bodies. And so that's kind of a bodhisattva vow. I vow to say them. Do what you can. Speak about your truth. Speak about things that are harming people, and make sure that you are not doing those harmful things your way. Number one. Number two, delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Okay, the delusional world is growing more with AI, with social media, with Photoshop, with all those filters. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, right now that I'm watching myself in this video, I wish there was a filter, I wish I was a little filter to do my hair, to do my makeup on, but that's a delusion. This is how I look. This is really who I am. And delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. I will not be able to end the delusions in another, but I aspire for that by ending the delusions in myself. What is wrong thought? What am I not aware of? Where did I go astray, believing something that is not truth, or trying to convey an image, or trying to be a chameleon? I know a lot of people that are really kind, good people, good persons, that they are chameleons in the way they behave. They act a certain way, they believe certain way when they are, depending with who they are. They act the part so they can be part of their play, of the other's play, instead of their own creation. So the illusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Third vow, the Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Again, what is Dharma? Everybody talks about less drama, more Dharma. I talk about it too. Dharma encompasses the ideas, okay, as duty, of human rights, of vocation, your religion, your life mission, the great teachings of the ancient times, the fundamentals, the core values, the morality. That's Dharma. And Dharma in Hinduism means an individual's duty fulfilled by observance of custom or law. Your moral law, your duty, your law, just abiding by core values, abiding by principles that help you be a good human being. That's the Dharma. So Dharma's gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Enter the Dharma. The temptation to exit the Dharma is going to be there. Even the Buddha was tempted. Even Jesus was tempted. The Maras. The Maras are illusory demons. That's how they call them, illusions. For the Buddha, it was women dancing, promising him all the promises that lust will bring. And for Jesus, it was the devil appearing to him in the desert, tempting him to giving him the kingdom that he owned. But Jesus, thank God, ask God, he said no. So the Dharmas are boundless, about to master them and enter them. We gotta master them, which means master ourselves. And the fourth vow, and this is what really took me into an elevated stand. The Buddha way is unattainable. I vow to attain it. Enlightenment is unattainable. Illumination like that as itself is unattainable. This for me means that the work is never done, that we always have the opportunity to aspire for more, to be more dutiful, to be more simple, to lead by example, that when we get to the top of the mountain, that's when we begin to climb again. There's a sense of humility. There's a sense of humbleness. This reminded me of my Shifu and the Shifu of my son, my Tai Chi teacher and his Kung Fu teacher. He said, when you get the black belt, that's when you get the white belt again. That's when you become a beginner again. So because if you think, I'm already enlightened, I'm an expert on this, people should buy from me. I'm an enlightened guru, so you should bow to my feet. If you think you made it and you are at the top, or if you think I was at the top, I will get to the top again. If you stay there, that's going to be very limited. That is not a vow. That's just a desire. That is a delusion. The true nature of reality is that the work is never done. One of my mentors, Tim Grover, the author of Relentless and Winning, says this beautifully in a more success-oriented, higher achiever mindset way. But the steps for success, the steps of winning, the steps are endless. I vow to attain them. I vow to do the work. I vow to wake up, do one more thing, a little more thing each day that I can to advance, to help others be better. It's not only one day, it's day one right now. Is when we begin climbing to the top, and it's never ending. So these are the 4 Bodhisattva vows. And I hope this serves you. Just think of your life. Think, what vow can you take today to elevate your consciousness, to take you to the next level? Not only commit, vow. What is it? Think like Elena Cardone and Grant Cardone, 7.1 billion people. Maybe they won't be alive when they achieve that. Maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe you vow for 7.1 billion people. They did for financial literacy. Maybe you to educate them in the ways of gardening, to bring people awareness on eating healthy food, to help people return to calm. This is something we're doing right now to help, beautify my environment as for the 8.1 billion people that exist. Make a vow and see where that takes your soul. Your mind will humble itself to a soul that makes a vow higher than itself in the service for the whole. Thank you so much for listening, for watching our first video. Please, if you're watching it in video, subscribe, click the bell, do all the things that YouTubers do. I am back in YouTube again. And if you are listening on Spotify or any of the platforms of the where podcasts are, please just sign up, give us a comment, send us your feedback, and we're going to see you here with a guest, a beautiful guest, on our next episode the next time. Thank you so much. Un beso. Adios. We hope you enjoyed this new episode, and if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere where you prefer to listen to your podcast. Make sure to check the links to everything we mentioned in this episode. For more news, future or past episodes, or for any other inquiry, please visit our website at delaflorteachings.com. Once again, thank you for listening to the Spirituality Now podcast.